Hey preschoolers, I have a story about a polar bear for you today. It's called Baby Polar. There's a polar bear. Baby Polar stood between his mother's legs. He imagined she was a cave, only the cave wasn't made of stone or brick, but of her thick fur and warm body. Baby Polar liked it there. He didn't feel the icy wind there, and he could hear the beating of his mother's heart. "Look, a storm is coming," Mama Polar said. Baby Polar saw dark clouds crossing over the blue sky. Soon flakes of snow began to fall. Baby Polar wished he could go outside and play. "Can I go play in the snow?" asked Baby Polar. "Only for a little while. This might be a big storm," Mama Polar said. Baby Polar walked out of his cave. The snow was beautiful. He held out his paw and watched the pretty crystals melt on his black pad. He turned his face up to the falling snow. He held out his tongue and tasted the white flakes. Have you ever tasted the snow when it's falling? The snow started coming down hard. It started to get deep. So Baby Polar lay down in the snow. With his round belly facing the sky, he moved his furry legs up and down. Swish, swish, he was making wings. He stood up and saw the shape he had made in the snow. "Look at the snow goose I made," called Baby Polar to Mama Polar. "Not now," Mama Polar said. "The storm is coming closer. It's time to come back." "But I want to keep playing," Baby Polar said as he skated across the ice. He looked behind him at the trails he had made. He made loop-de-loops. He made crisscrosses. He zigged and zagged. Then Baby Polar noticed that the sky had grown very dark. He couldn't see his loop-de-loops or crisscrosses. It was snowing so hard that he couldn't see his own paw in front of him. The wind was blowing so strong that it hurt his face. He wished he were with his mother. He wished he could feel her warm body around him like a cave. You should have listened, huh? "Mama Polar, where are you?" he called. But there was no answer, only the howling of the cold wind. Baby Polar started to cry. His tears froze and stuck to his cheeks like diamonds. Baby Polar wanted to get out of the storm. Great gusts of wind whipped through the air. They blew falling flakes of snow from side to side and from here to there. He kept walking. He came to a white hill. The hill was made of snow. He dug into the snow. He dug and dug, the white snow flying behind him. Oh, did he make a little cave? He made a big hole in the hill and stood inside it. It was warm like a cave. Baby Polar liked it there. He didn't feel the icy wind there, and he could hear the beating of his mother's heart. Mama's heart! Baby Polar jumped outside the cave and poked at the hill. "Mama Polar, is that you?" he said. Then Mama Polar shook her fur coat so that the snow fell off her. "Yes, I'm Mama Polar, but who are you?" she said. "Are you a little snowball that has rolled into me?" Was he covered in snow too? "I'm not a snowball. I'm me. I'm your Baby Polar." Baby Polar shook his fur coat so that the snow fell off and Mama Polar could see him. Mama Polar laughed and kissed the top of his head. "Why, yes, you are my Baby Polar, aren't you? But what are you doing standing out in the storm? Come back inside and keep warm." Now that he was with Mama Polar, the storm was beautiful to watch. He stood between his mother's legs and imagined she was a cave. Only the cave wasn't made of stone or rock, but of her thick fur and warm body. He didn't feel the icy wind there, and he could hear the beating of his mother's strong polar heart. There he is, Baby Polar with Mama Polar. I'm so glad he found her and he wasn't stuck in the snow all by himself.